Hello folks, this is Aditya Najha from InspiredToRise.com, and today we have the Lenovo K5 Note smartphone here with us for a detailed hands-on review for the same. We are going to answer a lot of questions about this device. So guys, without wasting much time, let's begin. The Lenovo Vibe K5 Note comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD display with a 178-degree wide viewing angle, and overall the display does look sharp enough. And on the back we have the fingerprint sensor, the camera and the flash, and on the right hand side we have the power button and the volume rocker for this smartphone. And on the left hand side for the smartphone we have the SIM tray slot, and you can see the SIM tray slot itself. It comes with a hybrid SIM tray slot. Overall this smartphone's design and build is quite good. On the bottom we have the micro USB port and the microphone hole, which can be seen over here. The metallic chamfer on the edges, design and build feels quite premium for this one, and really looks nice enough to hold also. It's good device. On the top we have the 3.5mm jack, and the metallic chamfer is also visible over here. Overall thickness of this device is a little bit high, and the capacitive touch buttons do light up, but their light isn't that high enough. Overall the build design look is quite solid for this smartphone. And moving on, it also has few supported accessories like the AMCAT gamepad, which allows you to play games on this device using the Ant VR Theater Max technology. So it comes with these square lenses which allows you to have distortion free images right in front of you. So how this works is that both the left and right eye are simultaneously fed with different images, and I'm playing a game right now. I'm not seeing those two screens as you are seeing right now. I'm seeing a complete huge big screen in front of me, so that is a good experience, and I'm able to play games also using this. So that's something which makes for a great media experience, and you can also watch videos, and almost every of your application would work on this. It comes with a Helio P10 chipset, which is slightly underpowered, 3 gigs of RAM, and you get around 32GB of internal storage, expandable up to 160GB via micro SD card, and it also supports USB OTG, so that's also something great about this smartphone. In terms of battery, it comes with a 3500 mAh battery. So in terms of battery capacity also, I would say that it is good enough. It comes with almost all of the sensors that a person might need for good VR experience and other things, other games, playing other games, and it has also a step counter also, so that's something good. The fingerprint sensor supports unlocking in 0.3 seconds. I tested it, it felt okay, but not really the fastest one around. The Helio P10 chipset is something of a miss because it's not that high performing, but still it scored around 50,650 on the Antutu benchmark, and the graphics performance was great with 63 FPS on the Nina Mark II benchmark on this one. Moving forward, while I tested few more things for this smartphone, I found out that the camera also was decent, though I can't say that the camera might be really too great, but still the images that I clicked from the camera looked good enough. The primary camera is a 13 megapixel one with face detection, autofocus, geotagging, touch focus, and HDR and panorama modes. The front camera is an 8 megapixel camera, and the selfies that I took from the front camera came out really clear. The sharpness is visible, and the contrast between different areas of my face is also quite good. So I would say that the selfie camera on this one is quite good as compared to a lot of smartphones out there in the similar price range. The primary camera also took some great shots, and the color reproduction I felt was really good. In this flower itself, there are few regions wherein there is a slight shade of yellowish orange, and that came out pretty clear with this camera. So I would say that the camera on this one is quite good, but how good when compared to a lot of other cameras around there, this is something that we would need to test when compared against few of the other cameras. But on its own, the saturation, color reproduction, everything on this camera felt great, and it supports 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second, and a lot of foliage and other things, click bias came out pretty clear. The color reproduction for the camera felt quite good. It comes with dual LED dual tone flash, so you might be able to take good pictures in low light also, but we haven't tested the camera yet in low light conditions, so we would reserve our judgment about this. Talking about the software experience, it comes with Android Marshmallow 6.0.1, and the stock Android experience almost stock Android experience is present on this one with the light scaling done by Lenovo guys, and you have the options to change between all of the toggles on the drop down notification menu. So that's also something good. Earlier they were not user customizable, but now they are. You also get the options for the open zone, the secure zone, wherein you can shift between different applications and have different user spaces. That's also good. Multitasking felt okay on this one, and you get internal RAM of around 3 GB and around 4 GB. You get two models for this smartphone, so that's also something quite appreciated about this one. And what I found out about this phone was that it felt smooth in hand, multitasking felt okay in hand. When I tried to play games on this one, Asphalt 8 ran fine. When I tried to run 4K with HD videos on this one, that also ran quite smoothly on this one. So I would say that the Helio P10 though feels like an underpowered chipset, but in here on this smartphone it did perform nicely enough. But still, in really heavy games like Nova 3 etc, I feel that this smartphone would definitely show signs of lag, as we had seen those lags on a lot of other smartphones like the U Unicorn also, and a lot of other ones also. It does feel good enough in the first glance, and I played few games, I played Asphalt 8 etc, those also felt great. And the speaker grill is on the back of the smartphone. There is a slight curve in order to project the sound towards you. Sound output also was okay, though I would say that if it was a front facing module just like the Lenovo K4 Note, it would have been even better, because everybody loves front facing speakers. Open sales start from 3rd August, which have already begun now, and in order to buy this phone you have to buy it from exclusively from Flipkart. The design, build etc, I would say it does feel really premium, and this smartphone does need a little bit of performance boost. The Helio P10 chipset is something which is the only, I would say, about the only con that maybe push this smartphone down. A lot of launch day offers are present for people who would buy from 3rd to 4th August, and the date has already passed now because I was sick and I did this video later. So a lot of launch day offers, these are all over by now. I would say that for a price of around 11,999, the Lenovo K5 Note, the Vibe K5 Note is a good smartphone. But is it the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 killer? A really great smartphone for a great price? That is something that still needs to be tested. So guys, this was it for this video. In case you liked this one, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This is Aditya Jha from InspiredToRise.com. Signing off folks, stay inspired to rise.